Param Shanti, infinite supreme peace. Salutations to our beloved Bapuji and Brahma. This is the English translation of the discussion between Anand Bhaiji and Bapuji. The title of the video is Amarta ki Sachai. Kya Manushya Amar Banega? The truth about immortality. Will humans become immortal? In the teaser of this video, Anand Bhaiji is asking, will humans become immortal in the future, or is this just an illusion? Bapuji replies, it is an illusion. There is no concept of immortality here. Even if someone spends thousands of dollars every month, one cannot become immortal. This is the realm of death. What today's material science refers to is actually demonic materialism. Material bhautik means rakshas demonic. No matter how much effort is made, even if the whole body is changed, even the blood is replaced repeatedly, even if it is done monthly and costs thousands of dollars, immortality can never be attained. Anand Bhaiji asks, are Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar immortal? Babuji says, no, the Trinity are not God himself. The Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar, are involved in creation, sustenance, and destruction. They are not to be called immortal. Brahma and Mahadev have never granted anyone the boon of immortality. The future of humanity is about soul protection, not body protection. The body belongs to no one. When the Third World War happens, nobody will remain. I have made many videos explaining this. Only the soul will survive. So worry about the soul. Anand Bhaiji asks, is cloning the first step towards immortality? Bapuji replies, a human can be cloned, but a soul cannot be made immortal through it. Anand Bhaiji asks, can immortality be achieved through meditation? Bapuji, how have you understood immortality? Have you experienced it? Have you ever been in contact with a subtle immortal soul? Is there a place in the Brahmand that could be called Amardham, the realm of immortal? Bapuji says, the soul can experience immortality even while living in this mortal world. Anand Bhaiji adds, Brahmagyan? Bapuji says, yes, through Brahmagyan, the knowledge of the supreme divine Brahman. Now, in the main section of the video, Anand Bhaiya begins by greeting. Anand Bhaiji says, Param Shanti, Supreme Peace Bapuji. Bapuji replies, Param Shanti, Supreme Peace. Then Anand Bhaiji says, a divine welcome to all. Welcome to Bapuji's YouTube channel. I am Anant and today with us is Bapuji Dashratbhai Patel. This is our YouTube channel and for the past 10 years we have been regularly uploading videos. Today in 2025, we bring this podcast with Bapuji. Today's discussion will be super insightful, focused on how humanity is running towards immortality because humans desire to become immortal. So, today, this will be a deep podcast on human immortality. This podcast will be based on a very high level Brahmagyan, the supreme divine knowledge of the Brahman. Bapuji will be answering around 50 questions, and I'll also be asking many of my own throughout. Today's podcast will be a divine blend of science, spirituality, subtle science, and Brahmagyan. So we request you to please watch this podcast completely because there is so much to learn today. We will also ask questions today about Param Shanti, supreme knowledge, and raising our consciousness. We will explore four key topic areas: soul consciousness, immortality, science and the search for immortality, the subtle realm, other planets, and scriptural references to immortality. These questions will be based on special knowledge Bapuji has shared. There will be practical questions relevant to today's humans as well as questions related to Bapuji's experiences and the Param Shanti mission. So stay tuned because you'll hear advanced level questions towards the end. Let's begin. Bapuji, thank you very much for this podcast. The first question coming to my mind is, today humanity is researching heavily on soul consciousness and immortality. Many people abroad are spending millions of dollars on themselves to become immortal. or to extend their lives. What do you say about this pursuit of immortality by humans? Bapuji replies, let's first understand from the Vedas and scriptures what is immortality and who is considered immortal. Because we live in Mrityulok or the mortal world, the realm of death. No one is in the immortal world. In Mrityulok, we have physical body made of five elements. We exist within these five elements. The Shastras, the scriptures say that even the great demons performed intense penance in this body of five elements. They worshipped Brahma and Mahadev to ask for the boon of immortality. Anand Bhaiji says yes. Bapuji continues, they asked for the boon of immortality because demons were body conscious and indulgent. They desired immortality within this body made of five elements, but neither Brahma nor Mahadev ever granted anyone the boon of immortality. Because Brahma and Mahadev knew this is Mrityulok, not Amarlok. In this realm, semi dissolutions, the Ardha Pralay, dissolutions or Pralay, and cycle dissolutions, the Kalpa Pralay, keep occurring. And when the great cycle dissolution, the Mahakalpa Pralay, occurs, even the solar system, the Brahmand, dissolves. In Mahakal Pralay, infinite solar systems, the Anant Koti Brahmands are destroyed. When the great dissolution, the Mahakal Pralay, occurs, Mahashiv assumes the form of Mahakal and absorbs infinite solar systems, the Anant Koti Brahmans, into every pore of his being, and even those infinite solar systems cease to exist. So, how can we call them immortal? How can souls be considered immortal? Anand Bhaiji asks, even Brahmans are not immortal. When the Vedas speak of immortality, do they refer to something else? What is it then? Bapuji answers, when the Brahma soul reaches Parandham, the realm of the Supreme, it experiences immortality. Above the earth, there are seven higher planes from Bhulok to Bhuvarlok, Swarglok, Maharlok, Janlok, Taplok, Satyalok. Above those is Brahmapuri, and even above that are Vishnupuri, Shivpuri, and finally Parandham is reached. That realm of Parandham is referred to as immortal world, the Amarlok, also known as Brahmalok. When the soul becomes Brahmaswarup in the divine incorporeal form and reaches Brahmalok, it is called immortal. But it remains so only as long as the Brahma exists. A soul can experience immortality only as long as the Brahmand or solar system exists. Later in the Mahakal Pralay or Great Time Dissolution, when infinite solar systems or Anant Koti Brahmans are absorbed by Mahashiv, the Supreme Mahakal who absorbs countless Brahmans into every pore of his being, then a whole Brahmand becomes just a cell. Just as Mahashiv, the Nirgun or the attributeless one. Mahabrahm once had a thought to become many from one, and thus innumerable Shiv were created. Countless, countless Nirakari or incorporeal Shiv were created. This is why Brahma is called Nirgun or without qualities, attributeless, and Nirakar, that is formless and incorporeal. He has no form, no color, no shape. From Mahabrahma, Brahma is created through single divine thought, and thus Brahma came into existence. But in Mahakal Pralay, Brahma too emerges into Mahabrahma, and Mahabrahma further emerges to Param Mahabrahma in the same way. It is like the Param Param Sanatan. Sanatan means eternal, everlasting, that cannot be destroyed. There is no destruction of that state. Anand Bhaiji says, yes. Bapuji continues, so when one receives infinite knowledge, the Behad ka Gyan, Atma Gyan or the knowledge of the soul self, the supreme divine knowledge, Brahma Gyan, self knowledge, when you attain Brahma Gyan, you'll understand how many solar systems or Brahmans exist in the infinite world with varying degrees or celestial power or kala. The creation and dissolution continues across solar systems or Brahmans with varying degrees of celestial power or kala. Therefore, we cannot call it immortal. Anand Bhaiji asks, then should we call Brahmapuri, Vishnupuri, or Shivpuri Amarloks or the immortal realms? Bapuji replies, no, not at all. Brahmapuri, Vishnupuri, or Shivpuri do not remain during the great dissolution, the Mahakalpa Pralaya. The entire Brahmand undergoes destruction. Anand Bhaiji says, now coming back, Bapuji, if the soul is already immortal, then why is immortality being searched for? Bapuji says, the soul is called eternal, immortal, and indestructible, but during semi destructions, dissolutions, and kalpa dissolutions, the soul still remains. Like in Ardha Pralay, Satu Pradhan souls, the souls full of purity, compassion, and love, stay. The Satu Pradhan human beings remain, while Tamu Pradhan, the beings who live in ignorance with negative qualities, perish on earth. In pralay or dissolution, there are 71 yuga cycles or periods of cyclical time. The four yugas, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, and Kalyug, keep rotating. During the yuga end, semi pralaya or pralaya occurs. The whole earth gets submerged in water. That's when the era of Manushatrapa ends. That era of Manushatrapa is called Manvantar. There's a water based pralaya on the whole earth and no human survives. Not even one. The new Manu and Shatrapa appear and create a new creation. In Kalpa Pralaya, these three lokas, Bhulok, Bhuvarlok, and Swargalok, all three perish. The seven lower worlds Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Rasatal, Mahatal, Patal all are destroyed. Even 550 million hells, heavens, and hells everywhere is dissolved when Lord Vishnu enters the sun and creates Kalagni, the cosmic fire generating a fire equivalent to 12 times the power of the sun. He generates such fire and burns everything through it. Even Earth doesn't remain. Earth itself has a time cycle. Earth ends in every Kalpa Pralaya, then the earth is not created again. Anand Bhaiji asks, Bapuji, can the immortality of the soul be experienced? Bapuji replies, here, when you gain self knowledge or Atmagyan, knowledge of the Brahman or the Brahmagyan, you attain divine knowledge. You become soul conscious and remember the Supreme Father, and from him you draw power. That is true yoga, the connection of the soul with the Supreme Soul. So, even while living in this mortal world, the soul can experience immortality. But through Brahmagyan, like earlier, there used to be Brahmarshis and Maharshis who reside in the Himalayas. They would sit high up in the snow for countless yugas, meditating with the thought, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. They kept repeating this, and from within them vibrations of Brahmaswarup would emerge, making nature and atmosphere Satu Pradhan, that pure divinity and compassionate. The entire environment would become Sato Pradhan. Those Brahmarshis and Maharshis who had Brahmagyan were from solar systems or Brahmans. Like the seven stars, Manvantar brings seven rishis. They are sages from distant star systems. Anand Bhaiji says, Bapuji, I would request shorter answers for now because we have 50 questions. Since you have already explained much of this in your videos, but if you feel the need to explain more, please do, like on Amarta or the power of immortality. Bapuji says, yes, of course, I will share where necessary. Anand Bhaiji asks, alright, what is the connection between immortality and the soul and body? Bapuji answers, see, the essence of all Vedas and scriptures is in the relationship between Jad and Chetan, unconscious or material, and conscious or the spiritual principles, or one can say the inert and conscious. The physical world is inert. The Jad is in the Mrityu Lok or the mortal world. So, what is in the Brahmand or the solar system It is in the body. Yatha Brahmande Tata Pinde, meaning as in the macrocosm, so in the microcosm. This five element body is perishable, just like this entire mortal world. This isn't the immortal world. Chetan or consciousness means soul, or the Brahman is indestructible. Anand Bhaji asks, okay, how does the soul become immortal through awakening consciousness? Bapuji says, consciousness means soul, means Brahma Swarup. When the soul attains self knowledge and Brahma Gyan, then we become Aham Brahmasmi, that is, I am Brahman. Be in Atma Swarup, assuming the soul form, connect to the Supreme and reach Parandham. Then the soul becomes immortal. Anand Bhaji asks, Bapuji, within the soul there are infinite memories and sanskars or impressions. Can they reawaken? Bapuji answers, yes, as long as we have this body, we are in the cycle of birth and death. So all the records are stored in the Karan Sharir, the causal body, and the Mahakaran Sharir, the supracausal body. Even if the mind resets lightly, it's recorded there. All actions of mind, speech, and deed are recorded in the causal body and the great causal body. So, whenever the soul returns to the cycle of birth and death, these karmic bonds become destiny or prarabdha and must be experienced. The memories come to the intellect just like in dreams. Those old memories lying within the subtle body emerge in the dream state until those impressions are exhausted. Awakening doesn't occur. As it is said, Nashto Moha Smriti Labda. When attachment is destroyed, one comes in Atmaswarup state or soul conscious state and divine memory returns. When one experiences soul conscious form, the experience of the soul form happens, connection with the Supreme Soul is established, true yoga begins, and soul gains power. And so the causal body that contains all records becomes charged and all negative karmas are destroyed. Anand Bhaiji asks, alright, can expanded consciousness lead the soul to liberation? Bapuji replies, if consciousness comes in Atmaswarup form or soul conscious state, then yes, it goes upward and reaches Parandham, that is liberation. Anand Bhaji asks, can human consciousness connect to Brahman's consciousness? Bapuji answers, when one remains in soul form, they can experience the Nirakari or the incorporeal stage even here. Yes, the soul can experience its incorporeal form right here. Anand Bhaiji says, now our second section is about science and search for immortality. Is today's science moving in the right direction towards immortality? Bapuji says, see, science, this material science operates in the world of five elements and attempts to make them immortal. This is exactly what demons did. They too demanded immortality within the five elements. Today's science says the same. This is material science or bhautik vigyan. It means demonic knowledge or rakshas gyan, so it says this. No matter how much effort is made, this material science will remain demon like knowledge. It's not divine knowledge. Deities reside in immortal realms. Those who become self realized and are in soul conscious state can go to Amarlok, the immortal world. Anand Bhaiji asks, yes, is there any deep connection between DNA and consciousness? Bapuji replies, DNA arises from the causal body into the subtle body and then the gross body. So DNA is formed. The mind is the root cause of DNA. If the mind changes, DNA changes. When the mind changes and comes in Atma Swarup or soul conscious state, or even if it gains some spiritual power, the DNA shifts. In every situation, DNA changes. Anand Bhaiji asks, okay, let's continue. In the future, will humans become immortal or is it just a fantasy? Bapuji answers, it is a fantasy. There is no reason for becoming immortal here. What are these people doing with material science or bhautik vigyan? An immortal world cannot be created here. This is Mrityu Lok, a mortal world. So where can an Amar Lok or an immortal world be made here? Anand Bhaiji asks, is cloning the first step towards immortality? Bapuji replies, a human can be cloned, but with this, a soul cannot be made immortal through it. It is temporary. Anand Bhaiji says, but nowadays people are creating duplicate nerves and organs and implanting them, like creating and inserting artificial livers. Bapuji says, yes, they can artificially create and change the gross body, the five elemental body, the body made of five elements within us. Anand Bhaiji says, they simply desire this, that this very body becomes immortal, or at least lasts a little longer, or it lasts for 70 to 80 years. Bapuji says, but the soul does not become immortal. That is a demonic tendency. The demons performed austerity for thousands of years and asked for boons from Brahma. They asked for boons from Mahadev. Even then, they didn't receive the boon of immortality. Anand Bhaiji says, it means material science or the Bhautik Vigyan cannot create immortality. Bapuji says, no matter what the material science or the Bhautik Vigyan tries, can never make one immortal. No matter how much material science tries, even if it changes the entire body, changes all the blood in the body, replacing it again and again, replacing it every month, even if it spends thousands of dollars every month, still one can never become immortal. This is a mortal world, the Mrityulok, and the body of five elements belongs to Mrityulok. Anand Bhaiji asks, can quantum physics prove the immortality of the soul? Bapuji answers, quantum means subtle. Subtle, so in the subtle body, they ascend upwards. People go to Gandharvas, Yaksha Lokas, Kinnars go to higher realms, the Gandharva Lok, Yaksha Lok, Kinnar Lok. That is like Amarlok, like an immortal realm, but not really, as it will last till solar system or the Brahman lasts, till Brahma's 100 years. Till then they are like an Amarlok. Above there are seven higher realms. In Kalpa Pralay, the three lokas get destroyed. If the soul can transcend and travel to higher Maharlok, it can be saved. So the soul is Ajar Amar Avinashi, that it is ageless, immortal, and indestructible. Anand Bhaiji says, now the section that is coming up has questions about the subtle world, other planets, and immortality. The first question in this is, do immortal beings live on other planets? Bapuji replies, see, the body on each planet is according to the atmosphere of the planet. Like the sun beings have bodies made of fire elements. Like Surya Narayan Devta, the sun deity, he and his lineage can reside there by taking a body of fire element, a fiery body. In the same way, on Saturn and all other planets, life definitely exists. Anand Bhaiji asks, okay, are souls in the subtle world immortal without a body? Bapuji replies, there are souls with subtle bodies. They are not immortal. There are various kinds of souls in the subtle world, like ghosts, spirits, and demons. Anand Bhaiji says, yes, that's also coming up in the next question. Bapuji says, these souls are not immortal. Anand Bhaiji asks, are deities, Pitru, our ancestors and spirits immortal? Bapuji answers, no, their lifespan is one kalpa. One kalpa means one day of Brahma. Even they get destroyed when the three worlds are destroyed. Anand Bhaiji says, yes, ghosts and spirits cannot ascend to higher realms. The three worlds are dissolved. Bapuji continues, they remain in the earthly plane. The lifespan of deities is one day of Brahma. They too perish in the great dissolution. Their soul ascends to higher realms. Anand Bhaiji says, those who try to become deities eventually fall back down. Bapuji says, a deity is indulgent, enjoying the fruits of their virtuous deeds. When their account of virtue ends, they reincarnate as humans, like souls with 100 celestial power or kala that have come from great multiverse. Such souls do take birth, but when they enter the world of death or the subtle realm, they become covered with the veil of this mortal and subtle world, and they become ordinary human beings. So they no longer remain immortal. Anand Bhaji asks, yes, do immortal souls take birth on our earth? Bapuji replies, yes, when very high quality souls incarnate, like souls with 100 celestial power, I have said in one of my earlier videos, such souls are there that have come from other great multiverses. Such souls do take birth, but when they enter the world of death or the subtle realm, they become covered with the veil of this mortal world, of five elements and the subtle world, and they become ordinary human beings. So they no longer remain immortal. They forget who they truly are. Only when they receive Brahmagyan, the supreme knowledge of the Brahman, or the formless supreme reality, the Atmagyan, that is the knowledge of the soul self, they regain their memory. And then they ascend to Brahmalok, the divine realm of Brahma. But when they lack knowledge, a veil of ignorance covers them, and they become ignorant no matter how great the soul is. Anand Bhaiji asks, can the soul attain immortality through subtle travel? Bapuji replies, subtle travel? Anand Bhaiji says, subtle travel journey upwards, astral travel. Bapuji continues, subtle travel upwards journey is like earth, the Bhulok to Bhuvarlok, Swarglok to Mahalok, then Janlok, Taplok, Satyalok, Mahasatyalok reaches Brahmapuri and Vishnupuri. In Vishnupuri, there is great illusion or the Mahamaya. So the soul gets stuck there but cannot go to Shivpuri. Only when it goes beyond to Shivpuri, where the true knowledge is attained, Shivpuri is in a pure or sattvic state. There, the soul receives the knowledge of the Parandham, the supreme abode. Then, through spiritual effort, it ascends to Parandham. Parandham is its end destination. Anand Bhaiji adds, are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar immortal? Bapuji says, no, the Trinity are not Supreme Soul or Paramatma. They are Trinity, Brahma the creator, Vishnu the sustainer, and Shankar the destroyer. They are Devtas, deities, not the Supreme Soul, the Paramatma. The Supreme Soul is beyond attributes and formless, residing in the Parandham. He is called the Supreme Soul, the Paramatma. Anand Bhaiji asks, okay, can immortality be attained through meditation? Bapuji says, meditate on your soul form and remember the soul form. Then the soul will attain a state free from karmic bondages or become karmatit. It will become bhavatit or be free from emotions and transcend the three gunas or qualities. Then it will connect with the formless, attributeless supreme. You will ascend to Brahmapuri in soul conscious Atmaswarup form. This is true immortal realm or Amarlok. Anand Bhaiji says, here I want to clarify one important concept. Bapuji wants to explain that soul is immortal, not the body. One must attain the knowledge. With this knowledge, one can experience immortality. It's through knowledge alone that one realizes I am an immortal soul. No one's body can ever be immortal. Even avatars like Ram and Krishna left their physical bodies. Vishnu had 24 avatars, Shiv had 28, all left their bodies. So the body cannot be immortal. No matter what science claims, we are speaking of the soul here. Here, importance is given to the self realization, consciousness that is Chetna, and without this knowledge of Atmagyan, there will be no experience of immortality. So, what's being emphasized is the awakening of the soul consciousness. Bapuji, has any yogi attained immortality with this body? Bapuji says, no, never. Brahma sent Trishanku upwards, but he did not become immortal. Vishwamitra created a new heaven for Trishanku, but he still fell. Anand Bhaiji says, the Brahmarshis who came from other solar systems took bodies here, then left their bodies and departed. Bapuji says, Yes, yes, they wanted to give supreme knowledge or Brahma Gyan to the people here, but no one accepted it, so they would meditate in the Himalayas and return. Anand Bhaiji asks, does celibacy or brahmacharya make life force immortal? Bapuji answers, look, there is big difference between limited world or the had. Bodily celibacy or brahmacharya and knowledge of the soul self or atmagyan, they are very different. Physical celibacy is one thing in self-realization, be in atmaswarup and be established in soul consciousness. Then the soul becomes eternal, immortal and indestructible, and it transcends the body, that is atma, is ajar amar avinashi. Physical celibacy or brahmacharya is one of the limited or the world of had. Anand Bhaiji asks, is Brahmagyan the knowledge of the supreme true immortality? Bapuji replies, only when one attains self-realization, Brahmagyan arises. Then one understands the solar systems or the Brahmand and its divine origin, middle and end. The knowledge of the Adi Madhya Ant. Then one realizes that they must ascend to Brahmalok. That is true knowledge. Anand Bhaiji asks, can the realization, I am soul, remove the fear of death? Babuji replies, yes. When the soul understands that this is the world of death and realizes that I am an eternal, immortal, indestructible soul, then it will ascend to Brahmalok and there will be no fear left. Anand Bhaiji says, okay, Bapuji, the next question are based on special knowledge. These questions are related to the experience of immortality. Have you understood and experienced immortality? Bapuji replies, since 1987, I have remained an Atmaswarup or soul consciousness. I have lived a alokik or divine life even in the lokik or worldly realm. While staying in soul consciousness, I used to feel a completely radiant light body. At that time, I couldn't even walk. My body would turn into pure light. It was then that I attained self realization with Brahmagyan, the supreme knowledge of the Brahman. I gained knowledge of the solar system, galaxy, and multiverse. I have seen all of it while remaining in Atmaswarup, that is, being in my soul form. I saw it through my Divya Drishti or the divine vision. This experience of mine, I have shared all this in my podcast. I explained it in detail. Anand Bhaiji asks, Bapuji, have you encountered any subtle immortal soul? Bapuji answers, there are so many souls in the higher subtle realms. If you go to Parandham, the supreme abode, there are countless souls. In the Mahaparandham, the supreme abode of the galaxy, there are even more in the Param Mahaparandham, the supreme abode of the universe. I have explained this in the journey of the soul. I have seen many such souls who are journeying through the multiverse, the great multiverse. These are incorporeal souls. They move about extensively. Anand Bhaiji says, those who have no name or color or have nothing to do with the earth, they have never even come to earth. Babuji says, they haven't come, they keep roaming, Parandham to Parandham. They never descend below Parandham, they don't even become deities. They neither take Akari or subtle forms or Sakari, the physical form, nor do they enter Brahmapuri, Vishnupuri, or Shivpuri. They stay only in the highest of all realms, Param Parandham. Anand Bhaiji says, these souls must be full of high divine power. Bapuji continues, they have very high celestial power like 30, 40, 50, even 100 or 200 kala or degrees of celestial power. Anand Bhaiji says, alright, I'll cover this question in my next podcast and cover many other related to it. It will be about today's multiverse. I will be asking Bapuji many more questions. Bapuji, for this podcast, can you recall the infinite past births of a soul? Bapuji says, when in soul consciousness, one only perceives the soul, then there is no awareness of the cycle of birth and death. Only one experiences the soul's eternal form. There is no awareness of the physical body. Anand Bhaiji asks, If a soul comes before you in human form, can you see its past lives? Bapuji replies, when you get into soul consciousness or an Atmaswarup, then I only see the soul. When I see the soul as light, I don't have knowledge of its birth and death or physical life stories. Anand Bhaji asks, so if a soul comes in front of you, you don't see its past lives? Bapuji tells, no, I only see its soul. When you look at this soul, its earthly births do not appear. Past lives are revealed through regression. Those are souls from the subtle world. Anand Bhaiji asks, oh, so you don't look at past lives and such? Bapuji replies, past lives are recalled through regression techniques. Those are subtle world, ghostly souls involved in that. They invoke the power, raise energy, and perform regression. They give power and transmit rays, so the person remembers those past lives. Here we are talking about self realization, right? There is a big difference between self realization and working with spirits or ghosts. Regression does not play a role in this. Here it is only about self realization. Through self realization, one attains the knowledge of the solar system or Brahmand. Anand Bhaji says, anyway, Bapuji always says in his videos that I do not perform miracles. Bapuji adds, spirits or ghosts perform miracles. Anand Bhaji asks, alright, is there any center of immortal souls or Amardham in the solar system or the Brahmand? Bapuji replies, yes, of course, there is Parandham or the supreme abode that exists, right? Anand Bhaiji asks, other than that, are there none other that are called Amardham? Bapuji says, yes, every Brahmand or solar system has one Parandham. Every Mahabrahmand or the galaxy has Mahaparandham, like the supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy. As science calls it, that is Mahaparandham. The supreme light of 10 kala or celestial power radiates from here. Anand Bhaiji asks, Bapuji, can you explain how the soul attains immortality? Can consciousness remain immortal in the subtle realms even without a body? Through self realization and Brahmagyan? Bapuji replies, through knowledge of the soul, self, or Atmagyan and knowledge of the Supreme God, Brahman or the Brahmagyan. Anand Bhaiji asks, can consciousness remain immortal in the subtle realms even without a body? Bapuji replies, consciousness belongs to the true divine, formless, incorporeal, or the Nirakari soul. An incorporeal soul can exist anywhere, taking the subtle or Akari state or the incorporeal state or the Nirakari state. Like in the Taplok, if it is an Akari subtle form or Nirakari incorporeal, then in the seven higher realms above, when a soul in Akari form takes one Nirakari state, it can remain there, come and go freely. For example, in Taplok, incorporeal souls keep coming and going, but above them there is a group of Nirakari souls. They form a layer, a sphere, and come down to earth like that. There are many who come like this. Some are what we call aliens. They arrive in Nirakari form and then take an Akari form. Anand Bhaji asks, now a related question, can an ordinary human being today undertake a journey towards immortality? Bapuji replies, a human cannot become immortal. The journey towards immortality is far off matter. Anand Bhaji says, okay, so one must understand Atma Swarup, their true soul form, and then Bapuji says, one must first understand the knowledge of the soul, self, Atmagyan, their true soul form. Then they will attain Brahmagyan, the supreme divine knowledge of the Brahman. If they attain Brahmagyan, they will reach Brahmalok. Anand Bhaji says, okay, only then can the journey towards immortality begin. Bapuji says, that will be called Amarlok, the realm of immortality. Anand Bhaji asks, how can the immortality of the soul be brought into practical life? Bapuji answers, make effort to realize your true soul form. Become a karma yogi. What did Lord Krishna say in the Gita? Forget the body and all its bodily relations. Become soul conscious and remember me, the Supreme Soul. Then I will destroy all of your sins and take you to the highest of the highest supreme abode, Parantham. This has indeed been spoken. Anand Bhaiji asks, okay, can we conquer death through meditation? Bapuji replies, whom are you meditating on? The one you meditate on, you will reach them. If you meditate on deities, you will go to deities. Anand Bhaiji asks, now the question is, can one gain control over death? Babuji replies, victory over death, victory over the cycle of birth and death. No one can truly conquer that. No, it's not possible. Anand Bhaiji asks, okay, is every human being's purpose to become immortal, or is it something else, something different for each person? Bapuji answers, it is all different and this is all an illusion or Maya. If they are caught in Maya, then they have no interest in the immortal realm. It means they have no knowledge at all. They are not concerned. They are not enlightened. They go on pilgrimages to Amarnath, but where is the real Amarnath? Where is that immortal realm? They don't know. They have no knowledge of the soul self, Atmagyan, no self realization, no Brahmagyan. Anand Bhaiji asks, can we become immortal like a divine soul? Bapuji answers, yes, it is possible to go to Amarlok, the immortal realm, attain Atmagyan, knowledge of the soul self, and Brahmagyan, the supreme divine knowledge. Anandbai asks, now Bapuji, there is a special question. This question is based on your experience and our Param Shanti mission. Bapuji, have you ever gone beyond the mortal world into any immortal realm? Bapuji answers, no, recalling with the intellect, I have never left the body in subtle form and gone there. Earlier, saints and sages used to project their subtle body and travel upwards, but I have never done that. Through divine intellect, insight, and staying in soul consciousness, I can see everything. Anand Bhaiji says, all right, so you mean to say that you haven't projected your subtle body to visit higher realms? Bapuji replies, I have seen everything Brahmans or the solar systems, Mahabrahmans, the galaxy, Param Mahabrahmand, the universe, all through divine vision. I see all this while sitting right here. The soul doesn't need to leave the body to go out. Anand Bhai Ji says, all right, have you ever had any divine experience related to immortality? Bapuji replies, when you remain in soul conscious state, the form is always divine. It is divine knowledge, a divine form. There is divine intellect, and one always resides in that. There is a constant divine experience, the form of supreme bliss. If you stay in Param Shanti, supreme peace, you become the embodiment of supreme bliss, the embodiment of eternal inner bliss, the embodiment of divine joy. That is the state one remains in. Anandbaiji asks, have you ever seen such a soul that remains active even after death? Bapuji answers, after death, the saying goes, as is the final thought, so is its destination. Some become ghosts or spirits, some wander. No one actually reaches Amarlok, the immortal realm. If there is no Atmagyan or knowledge of the soul self, then there is no Brahmagyan, the supreme divine knowledge. Anand Baiji asks, is there, in your experience, any scientific or subtle technology by which immortality is possible? Bapuji tells, the scientists, I mean physical scientists, are searching for immortality in the five elemental gross body, but it's simply not possible, not with the five elements. Anand Bhaiji asks, will the future of humanity evolve in the form of immortal souls? Bapuji replies, the future of humanity, the time to come is only about soul protection. This body belongs to no one. When the Third World War happens, no body will survive. I've made many videos on this. Only the soul will remain. Worry about the soul. Even in Gita, Lord Krishna told Arjuna, O Arjuna, be concerned about the soul. Anand Bhaiji asks, will the entire human race ever become immortal? Bapuji replies, no. In these, there are souls of different categories. Only the souls of high quality will go there. Not everyone will go to Amarlok, the immortal realm. Some will reach only up to Brahmalok, some will go to Vishnupuri, some to Shivapuri. Not all can reach Parantham. Only a high quality soul can go to Parantham. Anand Bhaiji asks, so Bapuji, is immortality of the soul the highest liberation? Bapuji answers, if the soul comes in the immortal state, it can go to Amarlok. That itself is liberation, freedom from the cycle of birth and death. Anand Bhaiji asks, is death an illusion? Bapuji replies, yes, this is a world of illusion. Anand Bhaiji asks, what is Mrityulok or the mortal world? Bapuji answers, it is an illusion. So even death is an illusion, leaving the five elements and going towards the truth. This too is an illusion. Mrityulok is just an illusion. This is imagination or illusion, but not the real Brahmalok above. This is a lower one, a separate illusion. The illusion of Mrityulok here below is different, and the illusion of Mrityulok above is different. Above, there is even an illusion of Amarlok or immortal realm. Anand Bhaiji says the Brahm or the falsehood of Mrityulok is separate. Does the soul become immortal again and again in the cosmic cycle? Bapuji replies, no, during the Mahakal Pralay or the great final dissolution, infinite Brahmans, the solar system, all dissolve in Mahakal Pralay, everything, all souls come to an end. Everything is finished. Anand Bhaiji says, so true immortality does not contain anywhere in this Brahmand or even in the entire multiverse? Bapuji says, even the multiverse winds up. Everything ends. The master of the multiverse absorbs everything back into himself. He becomes Nirakar or formless again, just as he originally was, and the entire multiverse merges back into him. Anand Bhaiji says, we have a book called Life in Multiverse available in both English and Hindi, which you can still download for free on our website. If you check there, you'll find that in this book, Bapuji has revealed many deep secrets. You can also search on YouTube by typing Life in Multiverse in Hindi and you will find the full video in Hindi. It is also available in complete audio form. So, Bapuji, now we would like to ask some advanced level final five questions. How can the soul's subtle vibrations, its fine frequencies, be transformed into permanent immortality? Bapuji tells, become Atmaswarup, soul conscious, then the vibrations will become Nirakari, formless. From here, become Nirakari and go to Amarlok or Parandam. Anand Bhaiji asks, okay, can a body of five elements ever become immortal? Bapuji answers, no, it cannot become immortal. Anand Bhaiji asks, does the end of creation affect the soul? Bapuji says, in the partial dissolution, the Ardha Pralay of creation, the soul is somewhat affected, but if there is Atmagyan, the knowledge of the soul self, then it ascends to the higher realms and is saved. Anand Bhaiji asks, can we exist as immortal consciousness without the body? Bapuji replies, the body can never become immortal. Only consciousness, the soul, can become immortal. Anand Bhaiji says, so friends, today the question I asked Bapuji were about the secrets of immortality, and together we understand this mystery. This discussion was about human immortality and the divine knowledge we received from Bapuji on this subject. Here, Bapuji is explaining to us the nature of the divine soul, the knower of Brahmagyan and one who understands the subtle realms, who holds incredible knowledge about life, the soul, the Brahmand, the solar system, and immortality. Bapuji has shared all of this with us. Today, we came to know how does a soul become immortal. Can science discover immortality? Can we conquer death by awakening consciousness? We learned so much today about gods, about the subtle world, about life on other planets, about Brahmagyan, and about immortal souls. Bapuji also shared his personal experiences. He explained very deep truths regarding immortality. So, Bapuji, Would you like to add anything extra from your side on this topic of immortality? Bapuji says, watch the videos on Brahmagyan, everything will be revealed. Now, Anand Bhaiji is summarizing everything that was discussed with Bapuji. Anand Bhaiji says, this Mrityulok, our mortal world, no matter what science tries to achieve on earth, until the soul attains Atmagyan, knowledge of the soul self, it cannot experience immortality. Even if you replace all parts of your body with new ones, it will still remain a body of Mrityulok. The proof lies in the fact that in all four yugas, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, and Kal Yuga, all divine incarnations eventually left their bodies. So today's human is pursuing a false quest for immortality. It is better instead to fill one's consciousness with knowledge, awaken the soul, understand consciousness and its power by listening to divine knowledge and experiencing liberation, then becoming soul conscious. One can attain Brahmagyan and journey from Mrityulok to Amarlok and ultimately reach Parandham. Only then one can truly become immortal. As long as the time of this Brahmand, the solar system continues, things will remain as they are. But if you want to understand more deeply, Bapuji has shared knowledge about Brahmand, Mahabrahmand, Param and even the realms above the multiverse, Param Mahabrahmand. These questions we covered today were just basic ones because many people are searching for answers about immortality. But who truly speaks about it? If someone claims that they can make you immortal with the body, that is 100% false. The body can never become immortal. It is perishable. It exists today and may not tomorrow. But if consciousness is filled with this knowledge, it can become immortal. And as long as there is time left in this Brahmand, this consciousness can rise beyond the cycle of birth and death and ascend eternally. One who reaches Parandam is truly called immortal. So let us know how you liked today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. I also conduct live meditation every night from 10 to 11 pm on this channel. There are around 1350 episodes already available. If you'd like to join in the morning, tune in the Param Shanti Motivation and Meditation channel with Sakshi from 5:30 to 6:30 am. There are over 700 episodes available there too. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our other channel, Spiritual Podcast with Anant, which contains around 250 podcasts featuring divine souls. Bapuji has shared many divine books. They are all available for free download on our Param Shanti website. You can also share them on WhatsApp. The knowledge given by Bapuji is extremely precious and important for this time. We must understand only if we gain knowledge will our ego and consciousness survive. Otherwise, in ignorance, human will act in such ways driven by desires that they will fall into 8.4 million life forms and be reborn as animals. Bapuji, final question. Can a soul trapped in 8.4 million life forms become Shiva again? Can it ascend back upwards? Bapuji replies, when the soul's power is completely depleted, how can it become human again? Just think. Think through knowledge. Think through Brahmagyan. When a soul, over countless births, loses power again and again and again, and eventually becomes simple amoeba, can the amoeba become human again? Think using your intellect. Think with Brahmagyan. If someone has never received Brahmagyan, perhaps a moment will come in time when even that soul becomes human. Anand Bhaiji says, alright, leave the amoeba aside, let's talk about other beings. If someone has become an animal, scriptures say that even a cow will become human in its next birth. So, will it get that opportunity? Bapuji says, an animal like cow, after becoming human again, it can rise from Mrityulok to Amarlok. Anand Bhaiji says, because the divine realm is called Golok, and cows are said to have entered that divine realm, right? Bapuji replies, Golok has cows, so the cow will reach Golok, which is Vishnupuri. Vishnupuri is not immortal. Anand Bhaiji says, so the simple truth is, if even humans, after listening to divine knowledge, are not becoming immortal, then how will these poor animals ever become immortal? Because they can't receive knowledge. Their consciousness, their being, is at a very low level. That's why knowledge is extremely important. To ascend spiritually, to attain Udvagati or upliftment, knowledge is the only medium through which one can become immortal. So, heartfelt thanks to all the divine souls for watching this entire episode. Infinite Supreme Peace, Behad ki Param Mahashanti. Thank you very much, Bapuji. Behad ki Param Mahashanti, Param Shanti.
बेहद की परम शांति सोचो बोलो परम शांति
Join us daily for our morning live meditation, Monday to Saturday, 5:30 to 6:30 a.m.
Join us daily for live meditation, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. on YouTube Live. Subscribe now. Website www.paramshanti.org. Email us anant@paramshanti.org. Like, share, subscribe. Join today.
बेहद की